All right, so we are going to be doing some prerequisite setups for our Kong environment. So you can see I've installed and configured Docker Desktop. Easy to do, just follow along the commands, nothing complicated. And once we've got Docker Desktop installed, the next thing that we are going to be doing is, as you can see, is that we're going to pull the image of Kong from our Docker Hub, right? So it's simple, Docker pull Kong, and it downloads the latest image on our Docker environment, and that's all. What it as simple as it is. The next steps from here would be setting up our Postgres database. After that, we'll prepare our database, run some migrations, and then we'll essentially give a kickstart to our Kong gateway to see if everything is working smoothly and making sure it's correctly linked with our database. And from there onwards, we are going to do our first test of on our local host to see if things are working fine. So let's move on to the next steps. So the next steps essentially are that we are going to now set up the following command. All right, so I've just put the latest tag to ensure I have the latest image. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to type the database command, and this command essentially is going to install Postgres. Obviously, there is no image locally, so it's pulling the image from Docker Hub, and the Postgres is the Postgres SQL is a default database that will be used for Kong for all this configuration, for storage, for everything. So, yeah, as you can see, the download is complete, and the next steps would be to run a migration command. So this command essentially now basically runs the migration. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do is that we're going to start the Kong gateway and then we are going to basically link it to the database. And that's the command for this. So I've essentially started the Kong gateway and I've also linked that to the database. So these are the three basic steps that you need to follow to get your Kong configured in your local environment. So if you've come that far, you've successfully configured Kong gateway on your local Docker desktop. You've also configured the Postgres. And going forward, we are going to be setting up a test API, applying some rate limits, and playing with API keys, putting in some access controls. And towards the end of the lesson, we are going to play this with the Safe token and also set it up with Stripe or PayPal. We'll set up some payments as well. So yeah, lots of exciting things coming your way. Keep watching. Cheers.